Welcome back. Jordan here, and today we're checking out a follow-up. A lot of you told me that we should check out Money Ties. You guys let me know that it's kind of a follow-up to the trilogy, so we're going to check that out, as well as Ren's 1 million subscriber video that you guys have really recommended. We're going to go ahead and do those both today as a bit of a bonus, and then we'll move on to some more Big Push or any other artists you guys might want me to check out. So I'm not going to waste too much time. We'll get into this. I think it makes sense to start off with Money Ties, just to wrap up the trilogy, or trilogy plus. And then we'll finish off with the more personal video. Leave it on a good note. Let's get into it. As always, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss our future videos. Love you guys. Let's get into it.
Godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. But the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the path and pierced themselves with the many pangs of greed.
Some of you had mentioned that this was kind of like a message to his sister, relating to the idea of money and the trilogy. And, you know, that's awesome to be able to kind of put those messages out there for your loved ones specifically. And nothing's changed, you know? The concept and idea of the dollar, of money, you know, since the part one, when he mentioned it was invented for trade, and it's become this god, basically, you know? If any of you have ever read or watched the show American Gods, there's this idea that actual gods only exist because of the belief that we have in them. And it's like money has become this entity that's worshipped and idolized, and it's not good or evil. And I had this discussion, I'm not sure with who, I don't know if it was with my brother or with my wife, but the idea of money not being, you know, good or bad, good or evil. It's an invention, like guns. You know, I'm not a fan of guns. You know, the guns don't necessarily do the evil. But unfortunately, if humans allow a thing to become weaponized in any fashion, that's what happens. And I feel like that's what's happened with money. It's become weaponized by those already in power who want more power and have been able to skew perception of the world around us to just give it up. And man, it's so frustrating. So I'm glad he touched on all those things and kind of that hopeful message of it's not all bad. Don't play the game. Be aware of the system. You might not be able to always separate yourself from it, but don't fall into it. Awesome way to kind of cap off the trilogy. So let's check out Ren's 1 million subscriber video. A lot of you said that it's a great way to kind of get to know him as an individual. So I'm excited. Let's check it out.
The concept, people are trying, tax up the poor man, feed up the fire. Money's just, money's just, money's just.
I want to keep this short and sweet because I wrote something that I want to share with you. But first of all, I just want to say how grateful I am. I've reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is a flipping huge milestone. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported my music over the years, whether you're newly on board or have been here for a while. I wanted to say thank you to the YouTube reaction community who have gotten behind my stuff in a big way and really helped me reach this goal. So thank you guys. Yeah, I wanted to read this passage that I wrote about success. It's too much for me to remember right now, so bear with me. But yeah, success to me means that I have a responsibility that transcends me. If I have a platform where people are paying attention, then I feel like it's my duty to make that count. It's far more important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain. There's a saying that stuck with me recently, which was a rising tide lifts all ships. Somehow, by finding success for myself has meant that I can find success for the people around me, and that makes me feel very rich. I'm in a very strange position right now where I owe much of my success to the most destructive force in my life, which has been the turbulence of my physical and mental illness. The thing that has by far brought me the most pain has been a source of constant inspiration, which ironically led to creations which brought me the most joy. Creating art which means something to somebody else and can potentially be a companion to somebody else in the dark justifies my own pain, and I desperately needed that to be justified. There are a lot of people alive today who live in the dark. It's a place that I'm very familiar with. In the peak of my health problems, I was severely underweight. All my meals had to be restricted and blended, and I was so tired that I couldn't participate in life. I couldn't socialize, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting. And this went on for years, with no answers. Nobody could have ever convinced me during that time that my pain and suffering would be a source for something good, because it felt insidious. Nobody could have ever convinced me that something constructive can come from hurting every day. But I'm here to tell you that if you are hurting every day, don't be afraid. One thing I know to be a certain, to be a constant law of the universe, is that life is inconsistent. Life is beautiful and life is hideous. Life is kind and life is cruel. Dancing inside this dichotomy and inconsistency makes me know that you won't hurt forever, whether that comes from resolution of what you're going through or acceptance of where you are. You won't hurt forever. You don't know yet whether or not your pain conceals gold. It definitely conceals wisdom, and it's definitely a catalyst for filling you with empathy. So stand strong, my friends, and don't let the darkness consume you, because once you know the dark and become intimate with it, you become very capable of wielding the light. You could be instrumental for changing this world for the better. There's nothing humble about shrinking or doubting yourself because you are large. You can be ferocious and you could be magnificent. For the medical industry, who too often let people fall through the cracks, it's your duty to do better. For the people living in the light, who have either stepped out of their shadow or have never had to walk beside it, it's your responsibility to put out untainted love. Our own greed, desire to ferociously expand, and decisions rooted in self-interest can benefit ourselves in a material sense, but can be very destructive to the hive and the world around us, ultimately hurting ourselves. So we really must consider that if we're going to step into a bright future. As humans, we have an incredible potential, and it would be a shame to throw it away. So community, humanity, and changing our relationship with the natural world so it leans more towards homeostasis must be a priority number one. If you're watching this and there's a knot tied up in your stomach with bitterness, anger, or hatred for your fellow human being, be with it, feel it, understand it, express it, and then let it go. You're hurting. Give yourself love, forgive yourself, and then project that love outwards, and the anger will pass. We have a decision in every interaction to tilt the world towards heaven or hell, towards Jannah or Jahannam, utopia or dystopia, and some people's ideas of heaven will be another's image of hell. So tread carefully, but treat those differences with respect. Tapestries are made beautiful because of the variety in the sum of their parts. Thank you to 1 million people inside this rich tapestry for the opportunity for me to try and spread my own vision of what I believe to be good. And thank you for justifying my pain. Thank you. I love you.
It's just beautiful, to find people who truly care about doing good and wanting the best for the world and everyone around them. I appreciate his hope. I appreciate his words, and they're all true. And what he said about having hatred for other human beings. Like, I've never felt that ever, but I do feel angry. You guys, if you saw my last videos, I'm angry at what people have done and continue to do, and it's a real anger. I can't lie. It's simmering in me, you know? It's I'm in a place right now that while I want positivity and I want to spread positivity and, you know, I don't want to stay mad, but everywhere I look, it's almost a reminder to me. And I know that's not right, and I would advise anyone else that not to focus on that or try to, obviously, but that's where I'm at. And like he said, accepting it and letting it go is the goal. And I'm trying. I'm trying. But the hope is, like he said, that the hurt doesn't last forever. So, yeah. Thank you, Ren. I think I'm going to take a moment to just say thank you, Ren, and any and all artists who speak about these struggles so openly and try to guide us as a society in the right direction. It moves people, and never think that it doesn't. Thank you. Just wanted to do this one quickly today, get this out to you guys, kind of wrap up this leg of the Ren journey. Planning to jump into the big push, check out some of his reggae work, but I'm very excited to get back into the Warning. If you guys haven't checked out the Warning, they're an incredible band. Go back and watch some of my other videos, check out some of their tracks, as well as Bandmade and Angelina Jordan. Sleep Token, gonna get back into that, which, if you're new to the channel, I'm a huge Sleep Token fan. I know their work, but I wanted to jump back, listen to all their tracks from the beginning in order, follow the lore, which I'm not as familiar as I should be, but also discovering some of the hidden tracks that I never actually heard. So, if you're into all that, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments who we should check out next. Love you guys. Thank you so much for kicking it with me for a little bit. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.